So I've been meaning to make this video for a very long time, like pre-heart transplant. So I'm going to be talking to you guys about my scars, what they mean, because I have a bunch of them, and I think it's kind of cool to share with you guys. So I'm wearing a sweater now because it was chilly in here, but now that I'm recording, I guess we can go ahead and take it off. Alright, so I think it would make the best sense to go in chronological order. So the first scar I actually received was this one on my upper left, or upper right for you, my upper left chest. This is where my defibrillator went in. They cut right along this line right here, made a little pocket, and put the defibrillator in. And I'll put a picture up on the screen so you guys can see what it looked like when I actually had it. But the defibrillator slash pacemaker, if you're not sure what that does, it basically manages your heart's rhythm. If you are susceptible to arrhythmias or abnormal heart rhythms, the defibrillator will protect you from those. What was really cool about having this was that it had wireless capabilities. So the nurse or registered technician would wave a wand over it and get all this information, and not only that, but they could administer tests with the device. So they would administer a test and it would make my heart flutter, and I'm like, wow, you know, what's the range on that computer? Because if you try to do some weird stuff on that home, that's not cool. And the next scar is this big sucker right down the middle, and I'm sure you guys know what that one's from. Obviously, it's the scar I got after receiving my transplant, but I actually got the scar before the transplant when I had my LVAD. My LVAD was placed, well, it required open heart surgery, so they obviously had to crack my chest open. So they made an incision all the way down my chest and got through the skin, and then used a small circular saw to cut through my breastbone. I know that sounds cringeworthy, but I think it's kind of cool. It is kind of gross, but still kind of cool. That's where I got this big scar. I'm not sure what to nickname it though. I was thinking like the San Andreas fault or San Andrews fault. Okay, and the scars down here that look kind of like bullet wounds, these are actually tube scars. These are chest tube scars. After an invasive heart surgery or just about any big surgery in the truncal region in your torso will require the use of chest tubes to drain extra fluid out of your body. And it's probably the second most uncomfortable thing. Well, it's actually tied with the first, which is just the general pain from after my surgery. But they were so painful because you just had all these like snakes inside you. And when they pull them out, it is I don't know where my mind goes when they pull them out, but it is like the weirdest, most painful yet relieving feeling ever. And you're just so happy to have them out. They sit in there for 2 days while you're awake with them. And when they pull them out, they just... Okay, now I'm just gonna move a little bit closer because the next scars are a little bit faint. Right in the front here, you'll see like 2 dots here. Not much, but these were actually probably, I think, the most interesting scars of them all. Here they had leads, like little tiny wires, almost like fishing line, coming out of my body, and I didn't even realize they were there until they said they needed to remove them. Little pieces of fishing wire that led up to my heart. In the event that my heart like went into some crazy rhythm while I was out of surgery, they would be able to connect a device to the little wires and send a current through to fix whatever's going on in there. And I thought that was so cool. So they pulled those suckers out too, and it felt kind of weird too. This scar right here, right below my belly button, I have no idea where that came from. I don't know if somebody like nicked me with a knife or a scalpel or something, but that's a mystery scar. Look here, here, and here. That's where the leads went, like those little patches that they put on your body to monitor your heart rhythm. For some reason, those things were super sticky and actually left me with scars. Like, what kind of sticker cuts you like that? Stickers are supposed to represent accomplishments, like on your spelling test or something. And finally, you guys, I'm gonna do handheld for this because these scars are on my neck. This is gonna be kind of difficult, but I'm in the mirror. You can see these little dots right here on my neck. Those are biopsy scars. Some people think they're hickeys, which is slightly embarrassing, but they're not. I don't know what kind of hickey would leave a raised scar like that, but if you know someone that leaves hickeys like that, stay away from them. But this is where they would go in for my heart biopsies. But every month or so, after transplant, I would get a biopsy once a week for 4 weeks, and then once every week for, I did 4 biopsies every other week, and they would just span them out the further you were out from your transplant. They would make it a little incision in my neck, stick a port in, and then send a catheter all the way down into my heart and literally cut chunks of heart out of my heart. I was right. I could feel it too. Every single time I had my biopsy, we go in and when they clip it out, I can feel my heart jiggle a little bit. And it's a little unnerving, but the more and more you do these, the more and more you get used to them. I will probably have these scars for a while. And what really sucks though is that the scars itch a lot. Like for me, I have melanin rich skin, as you can see. And because of that, hyperpigmentation occurs when there's damage to the skin if it's deep enough, and as a result, you don't get a scar that kind of lines flush with your skin. You get a raised scar, which I think is very unique for African Americans and anyone with dark skin complexions. You guys, I want to thank you for letting me appear on your screen again. This video is going to serve as a great tool for anyone who's undergoing a surgery like mine, a transplant, or if you guys are just curious as to know, you're just nosy. Oh, and I almost forgot, my medication kind of makes me break out from time to time, but it's actually under control right now. But you can see the little acne scarring on my chest and on my back a little bit. So thank you guys for checking out ajFitness. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And guys, workout videos will be coming back very, very soon. I promise.